Yes, guys, welcome back to Kings of the Bridge. How are you all doing? Chelsea 2, Brentford 0. Not a convincing performance at all, but we managed to get the job done. And that was the most important thing in the game today against a team that we struggled to beat over the past 8 games, I think it is. This is the first time we've beaten them in a while. I need everyone that's in here right now to hit the like buttons. There's 20 plus people in here already. Get the likes up, guys. Why have we, it should be 20 likes. Let's go. If everyone in here hits it, it will help the algorithm straight away. Before we even start, let's smash the likes. We're giving you match reactions right on the back of this game right here. And I'm joined by Matt as well. Matt, how are we doing, mate? And how are you feeling?
We did it. It's got 3 points. Just got to move on to the next one. Really scrappy game. Really didn't enjoy that at all. It was really kind of underwhelming performances by a lot of players as well. But look, we moved. We got it was 2-0 clean sheet. Palmer got his goal. Let's just go on to the next one.
Easy to say, but we kind of need to speak a bit more in it. Obviously, it's something that I agree with you in terms of the I agree with you in terms of the overall image of the game. I think it's one of them where we we just had to win. And listen, it wasn't a great performance whatsoever from start to finish. There was a lot of poor performances, even from our best players. But when we saw the lineup, we initially worried straight away in the spaces. We said this is quite a weak lineup, you know. And to be quite honest, from 0 to 90, even when we made the substitutions, we struggled. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. So, is there any positives other than winning, which is obviously a big thing for us, because in these type of games we tend to lose, right? In the past, we've always tend to not be able to hold on, or something happens. I mean, against a team like Brentford, who have given us a lot of problems and are obviously above us before this game as well. Yeah.
Positives for me, Sanchez, an unbelievable save to keep us 1-0 up at that point. His claiming for crosses was just back to what it was before. So was it just a bit of a nervous blip to start with? But no, I thought he was back to what he was before, which was great to see. Then, yeah, I mean, we just gotta hope that Palmer can just get some sort of rhythm. He just looks a bit out of sync at the moment, just a bit indecisive what he wants to do. But then saying that, he had good passages of passing play. So yeah, it's just very difficult at the moment. It's such early days with Rossini, and this is what I get so annoyed about the whole cycle of what we go in. We get to such a pinnacle point with Maresca that we can start to understand and kind of dissect games. Whereas this, it's very raw still. We're still trying to figure out what Liam Rossini is trying to do, and and that's why I find it's always difficult to analyse these sort of games, because, going to be honest, he's got a lot of work to do here still. Yep, he made the correct decisions, I felt, in terms of bringing Santos on. He was trying to be more proactive, which is something Maresca wasn't. So yeah, we're just got to see. But from what I saw against Brentford, they look dangerous, which is, I don't know whether that was our doing or if that was just because they're an informed team at the moment.
Yeah, Carlito next time, because you keep counting down. Just next time, bro. If you've only got 10 minutes, it's fine. We've not even started the show yet, so come on next time, my bro. In terms of the initial lineup, how we set up, what Rossini was going to do moving forward, to be quite honest with you, I think it's one of them again where it's like, it's very unpredictable to know what he's going to do moving forward. I still think we need the midfield three. I think the first half was very similar to what Maresca's been doing in terms of style, where Enzo was playing a bit further forward and Caicedo was left on his own. So in terms of system, I would say maybe a midfield three is what maybe would suit us moving forward. But saying that, when we were in the midfield three and we made the decisions, I thought we'd be a little bit more in control of the game, and we just wasn't. It just felt like the energy levels, people coming back from injuries, everything, all of these things amalgamated into this one period, this one game, and you could see it from start to finish where we just wasn't really up to speed. You had Enzo Fernandez, who played 90 minutes of the Arsenal game playing, and you could see after a while, again, he was starting to get leggy. You had Cole Palmer, who just got back from a groin, looking very, just not ready. Reece James, who I thought was quite poor today, who was okay. I don't think he had a good game whatsoever. For someone that we look up to and expect to step up, really didn't have as much of an influence as I thought. I thought Cucurella was absolutely diabolical. Like, honestly, I thought Cucurella, and I've never said that about Cucurella. Our fullbacks today were stinky. They let us down big time today. They just couldn't handle Brentford's attack, and then between Caliber and Tosin, I don't think they were that bad, to be quite honest with you, until obviously Tosin nearly scored an own goal, which Sanchez
an incredible interception for, I can't remember when it was, I think it was like an offside. It was offside for them, but it was pretty much 1-on-1, and he did a great interception. I'd love to see what Carlito would say about Chalobah's performance today, but I thought he did pretty well. But Cucurella, like I've said to you for a while, he looks mentally and physically fatigued. He just looks like he needs almost like a few games off, because we've just relied on him so much from last year, the Club World Cup, pretty much playing him every single game. And it's like, since he's come back from, whether it's injury or he just doesn't look right. And this is why we need to bring Hato in. And this is why I do agree with kind of those rotations. Hato's being tested a little bit now, and I feel he's kind of passing the test to be that understudy. So he needs to play, in my opinion.
For sure. Obviously, João Pedro, we will talk about him a bit more in a second. Obviously, good goal today. Scoring when we need him to. Very good finish as well. But Cole Palmer got a penalty today, and when he scored, his celebration was kind of needy. It was like, I don't know. We didn't see him do the old Cole for impression once. He kind of walked off, and he just looked a little bit displeased about something.
He did this on his last when he scored before, though. Did he score against Everton?
Yeah. Yeah,
and same thing. Then he kept touching his ear and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him right now. Whether he's just not happy because he's not been fit. He's not really been fit the whole season. Is that this disjoint in him again? I was shocked he played 90 minutes today. I really was shocked that he got given 90 minutes. I thought he'd be taken off at some point. He wasn't taken off. This is the thing for me. If he's just come back from a groin, why did he play the 90 minutes for Rosenior? You could have just could have took him off. Do you know what I mean? But he didn't. He kept him on. Jimmy Blue says, classic Chelsea win gem. Saw it out, not needless possession. Saw it out, not with needless possession. Now imagine we had Esteval. Maresca's loses that game 2-1 with bad subs. What do you think Esteval would have? I actually think we needed Esteval, to be quite honest. Just give us something going forward in the attack.
What you're saying is, imagine if we did have Esteval.
Imagine if we did have Esteval, yeah. The Paphos game needs to be used as a game for rest. Yeah, but we also need to win, Cal. It's like, we've got to be careful with this whole just rest, and do you know what I mean? We need players to be playing as well, because we've got to win that game. I expect us to. Palmer wants out, is what Cole Palmer says. I think he's unhappy. He didn't play well. Hopefully, I hope he's just angry at himself, because he's just like, we're not playing well at the moment. Like, we need to be doing better. Bad game management.
I thought it was a good game management today. We need it. What I don't like is, if this was under Maresca, it would have got to 1-1, and then the changes would have come in to have a 3-man midfield.
Yeah.
Because what Rosenior did, I mean, look, we were blimming close to being 1-1, don't get me wrong, but he got it in just in time, and yeah, I mean, it worked. So I tend to disagree with that point about bad game management.
Yeah, and obviously with all the talks around a centre back coming in and Tosin obviously dropping on the floor, it looks like he was injured, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I mean, this centre back might be more of a bigger thing than we expect, But I don't know, man. It's hard to really take much out of this game, isn't it? Like, really, in general, like, what can we analyze?
I think how the atmosphere is at the moment, you can see, like, it was just a very meh game, but we somehow got the 2-0 win, and it was not out of our doing. It was more that Brentford didn't have their shooting boots on in the first half, and they had one lapse in concentration. Delap was quick onto it. We got the pen, and yeah, I think it's one of those ones where we just have to kind of got to crack on and just kind of start to get things going. The more time Rosenior has in training with them, the more that he's got a bit more under his belt in terms of wins and things, we can start to kind of believe a bit more. But
he used all 5 subs today, which is a big. I mean, I know it's early on, and obviously he's still adapting with the players and getting things going. But he used all 5 subs today to try and help give us some sort of energy. Went into a back 5 later, and to be quite honest, once he went into the back 5, it kind of killed the game with Josh and Hatto. So it was a good sub because it closed all the spaces off for Brentford to get in behind us. The only problem we had was we just couldn't get forward. But it was the timing that he'd made. For me, it was the timing in terms of when he did that. Do you know what I mean? Because he didn't do it. He didn't do it straight away. Like halfway through the second half. He done it near sort of the end where there's only like 10 minutes or so left. And I think that's really good just to like manage the game for the last 10 minutes, especially when the players are feeling their legs and they're struggling. But still, so many stinky performances across the pitch. So many stinky performances. And, I want to go through them, obviously. But before we do that, I want to talk about someone that wasn't really stinky for me today. And I criticise him a lot, but only when he's in the 10. João Pedro today, I thought he took some really good touches. He linked up the play well. I think he took his finish very well. I thought Enzo Fernandez nearly fucked up the nutmeg and actually blocked the ball. And he got, by the way, Enzo Fernandez got an assist for that, which was quite interesting. That goes down as an assist, which is going to piss off more people. And now Enzo Fernandez has five assists in 6 games for us now in a row. So he's been directly involved in 5 goals of the 6. But João Pedro's finish, honestly, like I thought that was Didier Drogba, the way he put that into the top net. We don't see that a lot at the bridge anymore, do we? It's not the usual type of finishing, is it? Do you know what I mean? So, I've got to say, for the most of the times where I'm moaning about him playing a 10 and being shit, I thought he was actually all right this game, to be fair.
Considering you're up against physical centre backs as well, like I felt that he was creating a lot of issues for them. But I give him a lot of hate, but I felt today he took his goal really well and he actually had a really positive game. He was linking up. I mean, there was one point he came back so far and nearly took out Cucurella like a clearance. It was quite funny. But yeah, I think he was one of the only ones I felt had one of those games where it was a bit more food for thought for Rossini, which is good. But maybe having someone like a Delap where he is getting chosen more, it's meaning that João has to be more clinical and concentrate more. So it means that there's a bit more competition.
Moving away from him, how did he miss this? Someone explain to me. Like, by the way, Pedro Neto, who I thought had a pretty average game again, in this moment put the perfect cross on his right foot. That could have gone. He didn't have to do any more, Matt. Look, other than get in front of the defender. Look, it's arriving on his foot. And look at the goal. Look at Neto, where he's mashed that across the goal. Even the goalkeeper's been done by the speed of the cross. And look at Garnacho.
Do you think it was right for him to let it go on his left foot? Or do you reckon you'd just put a foot out on your right foot and let it tap in?
That's
so not necessarily side foot it on your right foot, but just put a leg out on your right foot.
Did he not use his left? He used his left foot for this, right?
He did, yeah. He let it go on to his left to try and shoot.
So my point is, whatever foot you use in this moment, it doesn't matter. You swing your right foot, you're more comfortable with it. You should get a connection, right? It will go in. You swing your left foot at it, you should definitely make it go towards the goal. And that's what he did. And it was harder for him to miss it than it was to score.
Crazy.
It was harder to miss than it was to score. How the fuck did he miss that? Because we could have got in 2-0 up in that game before half time. Like, I don't get it. We need an Esteval update. I think he didn't wear his gloves or something. That's why he got that. He's got a Esteval's ill. He's picked up the illness that Fofana spread, apparently. So
Liverpool drew today.
I've not even looked at the scores.
Tottenham lost against West Ham.
Oh, my 4 scores are a mess right now.
Well, I missed the United one, but Tottenham lost. So Thomas Frank has to.
I got the Chelsea game, right? I said 2-0.
Did you? I did 1-1.
I got 17 points for the Leeds game because I got that right. 1-0 Leeds.
Oh, you did.
I got -5 points for the Liverpool game though because I put the Joker on, so kind of lost 5 points there. I got no points for the Tottenham game, and I got 8 points for the Sunderland game.
I got 12 points for.
I got nothing for the Man United Man City game, so you must have caught out on me for sure.
No, I didn't because I did Leeds to win 2-0, and I got 7 points for it.
Oh my god! Have you seen how far ahead?
I don't want to even look, Jamie. It's probably even pointless now. I'm in 3rd now. Oh my lord! You're 128 points ahead.
More than that? Yeah. I think I'm more than that.
You can miss out this season.
I'm 148 points ahead. Fucking hell. We've still got a game coming now with the Arsenal game, innit? That's coming
I
up.
haven't even done a joke yet. I might do
Maybe use it. You need to use it. Yeah, really. How could I create a league like that and be? I don't get it.
I don't know.
It's meant to be for you guys to win, so I can give you some reward. Not me.
But yeah, I mean, that Garnacho, yeah, it's inexcusable, especially in that point in the game. We could have just put it 2-0 before half time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then other than that, I just thought he had a bit of an average game again. I don't know about you, but he just goes to show again that he just is an impact sub, isn't he? He's just, there's nothing more.
He's just meaty. He's just meaty.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's just meaty. I want to talk about. Let's talk about Cucurella today. Cucurella. What's going on here? Cucurella. Tell me, what was your thoughts of his performance? And then,
yeah, I mean, I don't really like seeing when you get pushed over and you're just like flailing around. I don't want that in my club. Like, it's, to me, I think we're almost starting to see some of the Cucurella elements when it was like under Potter and stuff, where he just looks tired. He's not making the correct decisions, and I think it might be time for Hato just to come in, just so it can just not necessarily say, look, you're playing crap, you're going to be out of the team, but just to give him a rest.
Yeah.
And make him kind of go, actually, do you know what? This position isn't just fully mine the whole time. And then it will make him get back to being that intensity which he normally was before. So
he's just making things complicated. He's not doing the basics. He's getting caught on the ball. Even when he passes the ball forward, he's not even making good passes, which is what he's really good at doing, which is being aggressive and making the passes. He's getting caught in behind. He's not reading the game well enough, which is what he does really well. He reads the game really well, not reading the game well enough. And he was shit today. I'm not going to cut corners. We can't sit here. Ads has joined us as well. We can't sit here and say that Cucurella had a good game today. And there's so many times in the past where we've all sat here and said Cucurella is like one of our main players. But today, he is one of our main players. But today, he struggled, man. He just couldn't get hold of whoever it was that was up against him. And even when he was on the ball, he was wasteful. Wasteful playing the ball into the middle, wasteful playing the ball down the wings. He looks tired. Oh yeah, I just thought someone said that fucking, what's his name, Jacket Potato was coming then, but no, it's not. It's basically saying it's PR. So I just think he looked mentally logged out. He didn't look right for me today, and he just really didn't. You could see it physically as well. And I think, listen, Jarrell Hatto's had a good couple of games recently. I think he starts the next game, and I think we give Cucurella a little bit of a break at the moment. Just use Hatto. He's there. He's available. We should be happy to have him. He's a good player, and he's also played quite well the last two games. So, yeah, for me, not a good game today at all for Cucurella.
Dodgers came out just now saying about Esteval's symptoms, and he was saying the Esteval symptoms were mild, but the coaching staff opted to keep the young player resting over the weekend.
Yeah,
he didn't even go to Stamford Bridge and watching the match from home. So his symptoms were mild.
Yeah, mild symptoms is fine. I mean, you don't want him to come in there and start giving it to everyone else, do you? That's the problem with them things. So they can't really risk it. But ads the boy. What you saying? How are you, bro?
Yo, my bro, what you saying, man? Yo, big up you, big up the chat, man. I'm good, brother. What you saying?
Just like trying to analyze, which is really hard game to analyze because we just wasn't good. Obviously, me and you talk a lot in the group chat, but it's hard to analyze this game when truly we were shit. Do you know what I mean? We were just shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Listen, when we always go into games and we're like, you know what, today we just had them days where you're like, you know what, I'll just take a result over the performance. Yeah. And this was like the biggest example of that because in terms of positives performance-wise, there's very few. Like it would be very easy to cover because there's not many. But exactly. Of course, the most important thing is just getting the result, which we managed to do by hook and by crook because it was a mad thing. It was a mad thing. But ultimately, we got the win, which is the most important thing, and hopefully the manager builds on that. But boy, there is a lot to build on, man, because that was not good for most of that game.
We just talked about Cucurella currently. I'm just sort of picking out certain players. I'll come back to the ones that we kind of highlighted quickly just to get your thoughts on. But I was just saying, I thought Cucurella was really poor today, bro. Really poor. And then, obviously, Matt said about him looking a little bit more like the Potter days where he looks just a little bit confused, mentally tired, not getting around, not reading the game well. You know, it seems to feel like that a little bit at the moment with him. You know.
Yeah, no, he was terrible. He was terrible. Like, and that's a big issue when one of your most experienced players is having that poor of a game. But it wasn't just him. Many important and key players have had a really bad game today. But yeah, well, we struggled a lot with their long balls. They were winning a lot of second balls. We were giving away a lot of sloppy fouls. Cucurella was one of the biggest culprits of that. And that just meant to us, that just meant that we just ended up like just getting wave after pressure on our back line, which at times Tosin dealt well with. And of course, at times Sanchez also bailed us out. But we have to be real, bro. They missed chances, easy passes, easy shots, hit the post, put chances wide. So, boy, today, it feels good to be let off the hook, man, because we were talking about it earlier, Jim. Like, how many times have we come back from games under the likes of Maresca, or even at times under Poch, and be like, oh, we were a better team, we didn't take our chances, and we got punished. Well, today was a role reversal, and it's good to be on this side, I'll be honest.
We never really get the luck, do we, to be fair? We usually get punished with all them Brentford chances and lose 2-3-1, especially against Brentford, who in the last 8 games we haven't won a game against. I mean, as we could have been 2-0 after everything that went on in that first half. We could have ended that half with a goal, you know. And this chance here, I still can't get my head over it.
Bro. I mean, as bad as the first half was, right? Like, obviously, João Pedro scores an amazing goal. Like, that was an amazing finish on his left foot, right? We didn't have much in the first half, and they had obviously quite a few chances. But obviously, we end that first half 2-0. Maybe, you know, we go into the second half with a different feeling. And you can see the players throughout the game, they knew they were having a bad game, and it was never really comfortable until we got the penalty. But this here, like, this is where you just have to put the ball in the back of the net. Like, there's nothing else to it. But this is Garnacho in a nutshell. People will say that, oh, he gets into good positions. He's a threat. He's a goal threat. He can win you games, whatever. And the finishes against Arsenal were good, but they were obviously basic, just first time finishes, right? Which is good. But here, bro, you can't miss that, because on any other day, we should be getting punished for not taking this chance against a team like Brentford, who were all over us. So, unforgivable this, but it can be forgotten because we didn't get punished in the end.
But usually, we would have. And then we'll be coming back to this moment, talking about how we didn't take our chances, Matt, because we lose, 2-1. And if Garnacho would have just scored this at half-time, it would have been 2-0, and it would have been a different game, potentially, right? Everything could have been a different game. It could have deflated Brentford. It could have meant that Rostinha goes more into like a solid system. And then we saw the back 5 later in the game, you know, the midfield 3 again with Santos coming in. Like, maybe we could have done things a little bit different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just it's why it's so important, especially when you got these games, especially against like a Brentford, who, you know, let's be honest, are an informed team at the moment. I think last 5 games they've won, was it 4, and maybe lost 1 or drawn 1 or something. So you've got to capitalize on this, and this is where the whole frustrating part of Garnacho is if you're having a bit of a mid game, and you get chances like this, you have to take them, because otherwise, then, you know, when you have your performances you do, you then can't expect to stay on the pitch, and then you can't expect us fans to then be on your side. So you have, I mean, regardless, I mean, that's like Timo Werner, that sort of thing.
I think Timo Werner would have scored that. I even think Sterling would have scored that.
No, I remember literally like a carbon copy situation. I think it was Hudson Odoi, and we were playing a French team, either Lille or Rennes, maybe Rennes.
Oh, yes.
And he put it across the box, literally the same part of the goal, same position, and Martin. This was literally Werner, bro. This was literally Werner.
But he overcomplicated it by allowing it to go on his left foot, in my opinion. You just stick a leg out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, using your left foot opens up your body, so it actually kind of makes the angle easier, because you could go with your right foot and sweep it past the post, but like your left foot there, so like you just let the ball hit the cross from Neto was perfect. It's got enough pace on it, so you just guide it into the goal. But yeah, man. Again, we're not surprised when we see Garnacho show very poor, like, instances of poor technique and poor decision making. This is what Garnacho is, and this is unfortunately what we spent a good chunk of money on after winning the Club World Cup, and that's why everybody's mad about it. That's why even now I look at Garnacho doing this and I just laugh, because I expect it. Nobody's surprised by this. If this is like Hazard here, or I don't know, Diego Costa or something, we're surprised, we're shocked. Not with Garnacho.
Do you know what's annoying about this the most is that I thought Pedro Neto was quite meh today, but that was his one real good moment of the game where he used his right foot to get the ball across the goal, which was at a good speed, that it reached Garnacho, Do you know what I mean? And that's what just pissed me off, really, because that should have been it. You know what I mean? We're not playing well. We needed the second goal, kill the game early, whatever. I know we ended up getting a penalty later, but it was later in the game. We could have easily been drawing that game with the amount of chances Brentford had. Even in the second half, we just never looked in control. We looked unbalanced. We looked tired. We looked like players were injured and just come back in the likes of Cole Palmer and Reece James. Enzo looked leggy to me in the second half, especially after playing the full game against Arsenal because there were so many players out. You know, Caicedo, I'm seeing people saying this, and I don't know if this is just me. I was saying this to Piers as well, because Piers is telling me he thought he was awesome today. I don't think Caicedo was good today. I don't understand this whole hype
on the ball. I mean, I feel like you can split Caicedo's performance a bit, because off the ball he did make some really good tackles and got stuck in. Obviously, we needed to because we were under pressure a lot of the game. But in possession, that was one of Caicedo's worst games that I've seen in a while. For a long while, actually. I thought he wasn't making some simple passes. Again, one of the most irritating things about today was our set pieces. A lot of times he would go short and overdo it. And Caicedo was at part of that as well, where he would just not be able to find the right pass, or we would end up taking a short corner and going back to the goalkeeper. And just stuff like that was awful. But yeah, Caicedo in possession was far from good today. Far from good.
Matt?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I don't, why have a corner if you're going to just do that? I think Az is right. Like, what was so frustrating, there was a couple of opportunities, and then we're just playing it on the ground, and then just trying to like do repetition passing outside the box. Then we realise, then someone will do like an off pass, meaning that you stretch and you have to go back. It was very frustrating because let's be honest, we're looking at the stats at the moment. Our set pieces aren't too bad at the moment, so why not try and capitalize that with the big boys you got, Chalobah and Tosin, try and get something out of it.
Yeah, maybe on the ball. This is the thing. Like, I think, maybe it just wasn't as obvious. I know one or two challenges that I saw from him I thought were very good. But I think it was just more the on the ball, because when he had the ball, there was one point where he carried the ball all the way to the final third and he just fell over. And I was like, why didn't you just pass it? You had 3 or 4 players in front of you, Caicedo. I've never seen him do that, which was so weird. I was like, why is Caicedo now just falling to the ground? Like, what's going on here? It was just certain things in the game. I just think overall it was a game that just absolutely stank, to be quite honest. We had this comment from Dodgers as well, apparently, from Kieran Gill after the game. And it basically says that Trevor Chalobah and Wesley Fofana weren't going to bother joining in with the goal celebration. But Reece James wasn't having it and told the pair to run towards the Matthew Harding stand. I think they were probably just tired. I mean, Fofana shouldn't be, even Chalobah, maybe. Do you know what I mean?
I think, like I said, I think if Garnacho scores that second goal earlier, and this isn't me putting everything on Garnacho, but I'm just saying that, like, him scoring that goal maybe gives us that feeling of, okay, we're actually in a good position and we're not as bad as we're playing. But I feel the players feel it on the pitch. They felt that they were playing awfully, and they were lucky. So that's why, like, obviously, even Palmer scored and he didn't want to do his celebration, his normal celebration. Like, you could just feel like the players knew they were playing awful and they couldn't really get out of it. But he managed to get out with a win, which is the most important thing. But again, I don't really read too much things into stuff like this. People be like, oh, maybe they don't care and all that bullshit. No, they obviously care.
It's like the Cole Palmer one, isn't it? He done the whole ear celebration and not the actual cold, and people were like, what's going on?
Yeah, and again, I feel like I don't think the protest necessarily is the reason why we were so bad. Definitely not. But that obviously creates a bit of an atmosphere, which then isn't helped by us playing shit. Like, we played shit, which then also adds to it as well. I feel like that kind of whole feeling was just there the whole game, and because we were never comfortable, we never really created like a good atmosphere on the pitch and in the stands. Because I mean, it's mad. Just last thing I add is like we're 1-0 up in the second half, like 60th minute, and there's Roman chants, like there's Roman Abramovich chants, and rightfully so, because I get why the fans are angry, but it's like we're angry, yet we're 1-0 up against Brentford in an important game, and it just goes to show that all around it wasn't great, other than the fact that we've got the win.
Thing is, and I agree with that. So I think what the difficulty is as well is, look, we're probably feeling dejected because of the ownership. It wouldn't surprise me if all the staff and all the players and stuff, they're probably going on too, and it's just a complete whirlwind at the moment. So it doesn't surprise me. And I think what you were saying about Chalobah as well, like maybe not necessarily Fofana, but I think you're completely right. They're probably just really pissed off about actually how they played, because they knew they probably all played shit, and then they want to be winning and playing well, like no one was. The atmosphere was just weird, but yeah, I think it's just a very funky time being a Chelsea fan and being as a team at the moment anyway. So I think they've got to somehow settle, and the only way you can settle is by getting more results. So I think it's almost just like a hangover from December, to be honest.
Also, we are playing a good team as well, and I feel like obviously their strikers had a good game other than the finish. They really ran us ragged. But I think in terms of turning around the atmosphere at the club, you do need a manager who's gonna cultivate some obviously good performances ideally, but also like the right atmosphere in the club. And that was kind of one of the good things about this appointment, which overall I have a lot of skepticism about. But one good thing is you can see he's a really good people person, and you don't think it'll be too hard for him to like get the players believing in his ideas and whatnot, especially early where he's going to have the authority and also the license to sort of, you know, throw his weight around a bit as a coach in terms of like, oh, I want this, and, you know, that kind of thing. But obviously results have got to come, this is a good start, but also performances have got to be there too. So hopefully he can get things turned around because he's saying all the right things in the press conferences. And because it's new, like he's new here, we obviously accept it's going to take time. But hopefully it doesn't take too long, you know, because we haven't got many more games to play like that and get away with results, you know. We won't have many.
It's good you mentioned that because when you look at where we are now and what we've got coming up, it's it's a good fair share of games. You know, we've got Paphos, Palace away, and listen, they're looking like they might lose Mateta to Juventus, you know, as well. So if he goes, that puts a massive dent in their attacking line for me, and I don't look at them as not a threat, but like as a bigger threat. So you look at the Premier League games we've got. We just beat Brentford at home, which is a hard game. Then we have Palace away. And then we have
by the way, are like literally in free fall. Their form is awful, and they've just sold their captain. They might lose their striker, and they've literally only got kids on their bench. Their manager's wilding out. They're a complete mess.
Exactly. So you look at the games we've got here. We've got just looking for getting the Champions Leagues because we've got 2 Champions League games with Paphos and Napoli, which are obviously going to be tricky, and then obviously the second leg against Arsenal in February. But if you look at the next 2 Premier League games, it's Palace and West Ham. Both London games, so both local games really. One at home, one away, and then we go into like a Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. Do you get what I mean?
Look at those 5 games that we've got, the hardest one out of all of them, Brentford.
For us, and maybe I don't. I mean, was Palace away hard? I mean, we usually
but their form, and the way like we talk about us being a mess, they're an even bigger mess right now, bro. So like that's an easy. That should be an easy. It should be an easy game. We'll see. But
that's wild if Mateta goes. By the way, I mean, whoever would sanction that at Palace, that's just crazy.
Yeah, they're losing Glasner. They've lost Gahey. They're going to lose fucking.
They lost Eze. You didn't really replace him either.
Why would they do that? They're just pulling their whole structure apart. They're pulling the whole structure apart. You know, it absolutely ruining them.
Yeah, I need to see who they've actually signed this window and the last window, but it looks like they haven't done much despite getting Europe. And also winning the trophy as well. Like, surely that would have given them something, but
sure. And obviously Arsenal playing right now, which after Man City losing today, man. These 9 points ahead like making me feel sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part about today is that like it's a wrap for the league, isn't it? And as somebody who grew up in North London as well, it's just long. Like it's so long.
Nottingham Forest do anything? I don't think so. They're fucking.
I don't think it matters, bro, because nobody's good enough to catch Arsenal at this point. I think that's my reality. I don't think like Arsenal aren't great this season, but they'll be steady. They'll get like 80 something points and be cool. City aren't going to be good enough, and Villa will take the eye off the ball once Europa League comes around. So
yeah. It's not going to be too much of a long show today because it's just not not really much to analyze. Obviously, we still got talking points to do and countdowns coming up for the next couple of days, and then we've got all the transfer news to go through as well. We'll be doing transfer lives, but if you were to sum up this game, I think we were all on the same like wavelength here. You know, we didn't play well, but we won, and that's very rare to say about Chelsea. Usually, when we don't play well, we don't win. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely
it's very weird to feel like that. I think you mentioned it earlier, though, Jem. Like at the moment, all we care about is probably just getting the 3 points because we just need momentum to get further up the table, and then we can start concentrating on the kind of style and things like that. But we need to make up for lost time because we've allowed everyone else through December to catch up and take over. So we need to just get some wins. Almost do what Liverpool did, just silently, just not play the best, but just get wins and get into a position. No, but I'm saying, there was that period before where, they were winning like 4 games in a row and things like that. So we need to, our fixtures can do that now for us.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. Listen, the battle for top 4, top 5 is going to be tough, man, because Liverpool obviously they're unbeaten in 10, but obviously now they got 4 draws, which is mad. And United obviously have only got 40 games this whole season, and now they got the new manager bounce. I think they're going to be a threat for sure. And then whether it's a Brentford or a Sunderland or a Newcastle, somebody will make a decent run there and be a threat. So, and obviously Villa got a big head start on all of us. So we got to get our act together soon.
Yeah. I had a bet with a Man United fan. He's so confident all of a sudden now. He goes, I've been waiting for Amram to leave to have this bet with you. I said, why? He went, as soon as Amram left, he goes, I know we're going to make Champions League. He goes, and we're going to finish above you as well. And I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You know, like, because we've got Rafinha, it's like fucking hard to understand what we're going to do right now. So I was like, no, you're not. We're going to finish above you still. And they're like, no, we'll finish above you and get Champions League. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's not getting Champions League. So we've got this bet on right now over Man United and Chelsea, which is, who's going to finish higher or above each other. Rafinha on Sanchez's performance. He was outstanding. His distribution in terms of his commanding the box and the saves we needed him to make. It doesn't surprise me, he says. Is this more just about the fact that he kind of owes us a performance because of the back of that Arsenal game, bro? That was poor.
That was an outstanding save he did today. I mean, when that went through, I thought it was 1-1. It was unbelievable save, so fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, adds, again, a little mention on Sanchez. Obviously, it was a bit of like the old against Arsenal, unfortunately, but today he kept us in the game, didn't he, really, with that 1-on-1, to be fair.
Yeah, he's one of very few that can have his head held high by his performance today because he was good. I mean, again, on the ball, there was some moments for sure. But no, he's made some really good saves. And that save that stopped the 1-1, I'm pretty sure they're going to win that. That's kind of just the feeling I had, is that if they score one, they're going to score another. So that was a big save. And again, he's had a good season overall. My whole thing with Sanchez is just, he's been good. I'm just waiting for maybe the shoe, what's the saying, the shoe match up or whatever it is. But eventually he's going to do a mad thing. And it was a while. It took him a while to do the mad thing, to be fair. But when he did it, he did it against Arsenal, and it was 2 in a row. So it's,
and when it did,
that is Sanchez for you. Yeah.
We got Rafinha's update on Tosin. He says, I think it's precautionary. He felt something in his hamstring. He said it felt better afterwards. So, to be fair to Tosin, do we need to say that he had a good game today?
No. I think his hamstring pulled out because his hamstring was like, right, I'm not used to playing this good. Like, Tosin was actually really good. So his hamstring was like, what the fuck's going on? It just like probably spazzed out on him. But no, he was actually really good. And we needed him. And because we don't have many centre-backs who are really good in the air and dominant, and we're playing against Brentford who were just crossing it for days, he was a good part of that. Again, he had his moments too, but that can happen when you're under so much pressure. But no, Tosin was really good today, which... he can do. He's not always shit. People might have to make out he's always shit. No, he's not always shit. He's just not always consistent, which is our main issue with our centre-backs.
Rafinha says, on Tosin injury affecting January transfer plans, we have our plan in terms of what we want to do. That won't make any difference in our thinking, whatever that means. Basically, we're going to do what we're going to do, is what I understand from that, basically. That reveals that Palmer and Reece James haven't trained and ran themselves into the ground. He praises both. So basically, Palmer and James played today, but they didn't even train. They just played after being injured.
But that to me, that's just like backwards thinking. Surely you'd want them to have a bit of training first. You don't just like run them ragged in again.
Doesn't that go against the whole medical team as well? Like,
literally, I would literally that, bro, because you spent like the whole week doing that PR, and then now you're saying that, you basically just threw them out there and just hope for the best. It's like,
For a boxer, don't worry about training, just go straight into the fight.
That's mad. Yeah. I'm shocked that the medical team are actually okay with that, to be got on the show. After all the Maresco shit we heard about falling out of the medical team, and he's just done that.
Yeah. I feel again, a lot of it is just PR. But again, I feel like Liam's, it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates the media, because he speaks a lot, which is somewhat good. But it's like there was also a bad that comes with that. So we'll see how he copes, man.
Are we starting to see the benefits of having Liam Delap in this team slightly?
Delap?
Yeah. And I'm talking about later in the game.
I think it's a structural thing.
Yeah.
You saw when he was at the top, he was able to pressure, and then he was the one who got the penalty, and that was on him. So I think there is like a structural thing, because obviously what Joao does, he kind of like lingers being that false nine, but then trying to get into pockets of 10, then being up top. Whereas when you have Liam Delap, you've got a focal point there. I mean, it's because he's obviously that more physical striker. That's bound to happen. But yeah, I think he's, for a structural of the team, he's fundamental part. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. When I asked that, obviously this is on the back of him having a couple of good games and then obviously being injured. But then when he came on, obviously he won the penalty, which was a mistake. He put the pressure on. And then after that, listen, he wasn't heavily involved, but he occupies, for me, he occupies defenders better. And I think João Pedro, by the way, I'm not knocking him today. I thought João Pedro, and this goes back to what I keep saying. I've been saying this for a while, and as you see me say it, and Matt as well. João Pedro's best performances for Chelsea have been in the 9, not the 10. And I keep saying, I don't think he's a 10. I don't think he can play the 10 role. I stick by that. He's not a 10 for me. Because when he plays as a 9, you just see him play with a little bit more freedom, in his game. And it suits him more, in my opinion.
He's a good striker in games like this where it's a bit more open and he's not like up against like the lowest of low blocks and where he's just relying on like crosses into the box, that kind of service. He's not that kind of striker. Strikers, games like today where he can kind of link up a bit is good. And obviously at times he got involved. When he got involved, he was good. This wasn't much of it. So in games like this, you're kind of just, you're going to be defined by what moments you have in the box. And it wasn't much of a moment, but it's an amazing finish on his left foot. And that's my thing with João Pedro. Since he's been at the club, he's always shown that he's a good finisher. Like the finishes at the Club World Cup earlier on in the season. And then there was a stretch where he was going like 6-7 games and he only had that one shot on goal. And part of that is on his play style, but also on us not creating chances for him. Because he showed today, if he gets a good enough chance, he can finish it and finish it really well. So yeah, big him up, man. We're going to need more of that in the upcoming weeks. But also just under the lap point, the lap point is, this is what he's meant to give us. He's meant to give us like this impact off the bench, So that's good. But obviously we still need more.
I mean, you can imagine against Pavos that Liam Delap's probably going to lead the line, providing he's fit. I think Jarrell Hatter will come in. I think he's going to shuffle the team around. He used all 5 subs today as well, which was interesting. Yeah, I think he's going to use. You're going to see a lot of that with him. I think he's going to see him using a lot of these. You're going to see him using a lot of these bench as of when he needs to, especially with the games. Yeah, the squad itself. Yeah. So, guys, what have I just read? What about the Lego? Yeah, I didn't even bother reading it. I'm not going to lie. It's like a weird comment about Lego and shit.
Was it actually true though? Like he's getting
I don't know. He says Liam Rossini and Passion on the sidelines. Yeah, we've got Lego to come. I'll be doing a lot of clapping as well.
I think that's taking the piss.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Rossini on Enzo Fernandez. He says he's a winner. It's his birthday today, so I told him he should go to a steakhouse and enjoy some Argentinian steak. He's an important player.
Yeah.
Man told him to go and have some Argentinian steak.
You're allowed to say that. I mean,
yeah, it's a bit rude, isn't it? Yeah, you're Spanish, so go and eat some Spanish food and then come back later. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's a quirky guy at it, so this is what we're gonna get from him as the gaffer. We also don't really get many, like most of the gaffers you get at the top level are like all Italian, Spanish, or whatever. So they speak in their own broken English, but he's gonna speak in full English and like give a lot of context of things he maybe shouldn't do. So
my point is that's like saying, that is literally like saying, yeah, Delap, he's a professional. He's an important player. He's a winner. I told him to go and have some fish and chips tonight. Yeah, what I mean, like it's bad. Like it's mad. Rossini will be sacked in 18 months, is what Ray Allen says. Well,
you seen what Glasner's just said?
Go on.
Glasner's hit out at the Palace board, obviously after Gurhi's sale. He said we're being abandoned.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the board are just looking to fill their pockets? Is what he's saying? By the sound
it's just obviously it's getting gutted. Like, they're saying that you're abandoning Palace, so that doesn't really work.
Yeah, I mean, he was even saying this in the summer. Like, he threatened that, if Gahey leaves in the summer, I'm gonna walk, and I think that was a big part of why they just about managed to keep him then. But obviously, they've sold him now, and I don't think they've really done much to strengthen Palace in January. So I get his frustration fully. I've seen a lot of managers do that actually, where they're just talking out on their board because they're just fed up.
It's just happening more and more now. So
yeah,
I mean, you could be Spursy, couldn't you? Let's be serious. Like losing 2-1 to West Ham is like shocking these days.
Surely Thomas Frank, he has to go.
Wow.
I'm actually shocked by the sofa score stats on the game today. They deemed Enzo Fernandez as the best player on the pitch.
I think you've been tweaking with the.
Yeah, the effect does boost that. I don't think I thought of our six. If you take away the defense, right? Because I thought Tosin and Sanchez were pretty decent. Of the front six, I would probably say Enzo was the best of those guys, but still not good. I wouldn't say this was a good Enzo.
No, it wasn't easy. Yeah, even I would say it wasn't vintage
Yeah.
Enzo. It was a bit of a mid-game for him, to be fair. But you could say I did say this in the chat. I actually thought he looked leggy today. You could tell after that Arsenal game midweek, he sort of caught up on him a bit. You could see it in his game. Which is what it is. It's going to happen, isn't it? We're going to have players, unfortunately, that are overplayed playing like this. They're not robots at the end of the day. So it is what it is. But the fact that he got an 8.2 is just mad. Palmer got an 8.2. Are you mad?
I mean, the stats will boost. I mean, just getting the GA will boost it a lot on these kind of apps.
Good pen, though.
Yeah, because Palmer scored, didn't he? And I thought, but again, this you can quickly speak on Palmer. Are you a little bit worried at the moment with him? The fact that we've just not had him fit once throughout this year, and he still seems to just be not at it. Do you know what I mean? As well.
Yeah, I am. I've always said I think if they should have got surgery on him at the start. I think him just kind of trying to do what he's doing now, he just doesn't look the same player. It was very reminiscent. Sorry, of when he it was like at the last tail end of the last year, but he's almost looked slower than that. Like last year, it was more just decision making because he was trying too hard to get a goal. Whereas with now, he just looks like his touch is off. Everything's just slightly off, and like you can see, players are more physical with him. He just doesn't have that like strength to hold up as well. And I feel for him because he's a star boy for us. But you got to then think if we had more depth there, then he wouldn't maybe have been in the team as much to get him back into the game. I don't know what you think, Ads.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I'm definitely very concerned, and I definitely get why people have this concern about and are worried about Palmer generally, just because we've not seen that electric form of his pretty much since, maybe like November time last season. Obviously, not even a couple months ago. I mean, last season, because he started off that season really good, and then obviously he went through like a really bad December, January period. And yeah, the Club World Cup was good, and there's obviously been moments here and there. Obviously, even this season, that Bayern Munich game, for example, was really good. But of course, injuries has played a part. Like a confidence, also the team itself not being all there. But ultimately, I want to give him a bit more time because again, this is him returning back from another injury. He's got on a goal today, which will help his confidence. And you saw him even at times try a few things after the goal because he probably felt himself a bit better on the pitch. But yeah, I'm definitely concerned, man, because without Palmer, like getting us a lot of goals and assists and creating that magic in the final third, we don't really look for much else from the rest of our attackers. Esteban, unfortunately, we're going to have to keep seeing him come in and do something good, and then maybe a game he'll be dropped or rotated, or he'll be, I don't know, what was it today? Illness,
Yeah, he's ill. Yeah.
Yeah, again, obviously that's frustrating, but also that's kind of what happens when you have an 18-year-old. I mean, it's normal. He's going to have a lot of little things that are happening, but that's our next best player in attack in terms of quality. After that, you're looking at, our wingers. We know what the situation is with those guys. João Pedro, when it's good, and today's finish was great, but I'll be honest, I'm a big João Pedro fan. He's had a lot of poor games in the last couple months. So if Palmer's not going to be at it 100%, then there is a lot of concern about how good we're going to end the season.
Yeah, the drop-off's worrying, isn't it, really, if you think about from Palmer being, I don't know, let's say an 8 to 9 out of 10 quality, then really other than that, we're then like dropping to 6 out of 10s really in terms of like quality-wise. And Ad, you're right, it's and this is where squad planning is always like, obviously you're always going to have a star man to build around, but you still need good quality around him, because otherwise if something like this does happen, then you're stuck. Because then you've just got a load of, like, as Jem always says, mid players who just can't do the same because they're just, they just physically can't because they're just not good enough.
We also haven't really got cover for him either, because we do have a lot of like wingers at the club, but not many 10s, and we just loaned out Facundo now. So there's nobody else to really play behind him. Obviously, we got Tyreek George who's on the bench there. Maybe if we sell him or do whatever, we can get somebody else that can maybe play in the 10. Because then other than Palmer, who else can really play 10? It's just João Pedro. That's kind of it. Esteban too, but
Enzo.
But the thing with Enzo was like he's part of our very limited midfield options now, because Lavio's not been around the whole season. Sugo's just come back, but who knows how long till he can be really trusted to start a game. So yeah, we're really low on options there. Like one Palmer injury, bro, and it's we're back to square one.
I've seen the comments about as Enzo Fernandez had a better season than Palmer in the 10, and I think a lot of it's to do with injury, don't get me wrong, but I actually think Enzo Fernandez has been pretty decent actually in that role currently, because yes, he can be very limited in terms of like the dribbling side of things as well, but what he does very well is occupy the space, and once he receives it, it's the transitioning forward. It's usually, like we've been seeing recently, it's the passing with him, right? Getting us on the attack quickly. And that's the thing I'd say about him. If you haven't got Enzo or Palmer, I think we're fucked. I'll be honest with you. If they're both not on the pitch, I don't know where the creation's coming from. I've said this for a long time. That's why when people go, oh, if Enzo goes PSG, maybe we should just accept it. Who are we bringing in to replace his creativity and his passing range? Who's going to do these things? Because you see Santos and Caicedo playing in that deeper role. This is all good. With the passing and whatever. And yes, they can play some good balls into the pockets, don't get me wrong. But in terms of like that quick transition and, crashing of the box, the just having the IQ to know when to release the pass, the variety of passing, the way that he attacks the spaces, I think he does quite a lot. A lot of people don't actually recognize when it comes to Enzo and Palmer not being around is what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Having them both in there usually tends to be a good thing, because they both, if one's not playing well, the other one tends to usually, and they give you something, you kind of get away with it. Because if Palmer's playing well, Enzo don't have to be the utmost always, the creator of the team. But if Palmer's not in the team, and I just think we struggle for the creativity if Enzo's not on the pitch, And
I mean, it's sort of
6 games, he's been involved in 5 goals. The last 5 goals, Enzo Fernandez has been involved in all 5 of them out of 6. So
that's a really good stat. That's a big improvement in Enzo's game from like the first 12 to 18 months he was here. He's now getting a lot more GA, which is good. And even last season in general, in terms of chances created in the top 5 leagues, I'm sure Palmer and Enzo were like in and around the top 5 most of the season. So if you take out both of them, of course we definitely lose something. I think Santos in general hasn't had the impact I would have liked him to have had so far at Chelsea, but there's still time. Really. But again, it just comes back to, if we're not going to be creating from central areas, then we need more from our wingers. And we'll see what Liam does in terms of the system. Maybe he's going to give them more support. Maybe it's not going to be just about them having 1v1s. Maybe we're going to, create some more wide overloads and stuff. Because today, Garnacho was getting so many opportunities to get the chance to go 1v1 or attack or do something. And other than winning us a corner or keeping possession, that was pretty much as good as it got with him. So we're going to need more, man. We're going to need more.
I'm just watching this Anderson performance that everyone seems to take. I mean, they're playing through Nottingham Forest for fun at the moment. I'm surprised Arsenal haven't scored.
Yeah, Martinelli missed an absolute sitter. Absolute sitter he missed.
Zubimendi just got played through by Madueke, and it was a good chance there. But all right, let's tie it up because we've done nearly an hour, and we're going to do more shows. We're doing shows every single day here anyway. Obviously, everyone's tuning in and watching the football stuff as well. So we'll do a talking point show, which will highlight certain parts of the game, certain players. Again, we'll talk about certain things, and then we'll go into the Paphos game going into the beginning of the week anyway, which is on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure, one of them days. So, yeah, man, good overall live as always. We had still can't believe we had nearly 1,000. We had 1,000 people here yesterday. No. 1,000 people in the live yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we were here. Me and Matt were here. We had over 1,000 people in the live. Don't know where they came from, but YouTube must have just gone like that with a switch, man. For the whole live, we had like 700 people in it. Fucking crazy. But yeah, listen, make sure you smash the like, share it out, and all that for Jazzle as well. We'll be back very shortly. Up the Chelsea. We take this, we move on, and we just got to keep winning, man. That's all we can do. Keep winning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Peace, guys. Catch you in a bit. See you later.